guys, I'm TrainerKelly, and I meant to make a video like this like back in February, and it is currently June 13th, 2019 when I'm making this. Whoopsies. So, by the title of this video, you can probably guess. I am talking about 2018. Yep, I'm talking about 2018. And I think by the title of this, as well as the ramble, which you guys can read here at this URL, it's also in the description. So probably by the title, you probably guess that 2018 just kind of like came and then it went. The best way for me to describe 2018 was it dropped me off. It literally just dropped me off in 2019 and just sped off. Didn't even say bye. Like, how rude. Actually, I don't care, because 2018, honestly, for me, was basically a year of mostly unnecessary suffering. And I wish that I had recognized the suffering and what to do about it a lot earlier, but I didn't. But that's okay. That's a-okay. As you guys can probably see, I am no longer in a basement where the walls cry and there's mold growing. I am in a bedroom. This is my work area. Ain't it pretty? I love my work area. Anyway, yes, so why don't we talk about 2018? So, what happened at the end of 2017? So, because that's the lead up. You know, I don't really remember what happened in 2017 other than in September my car had some really weird issue and I couldn't drive it. It turned out to be an electrical issue. And that was frustrating. And I think I just was trying to work on projects. I guess. I think that might be it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be it. The 2017's summary is also like down below. I think I also have a video. If I have a video, it'll be somewhere up on here. Anyway, you lovely people, so let's talk about 2018. So what happened in 2018? So in 2018, at the end of January, my car kept dying. It was really, really frustrating. I'm like, I don't know what this is. My mom and I thought like it was probably a battery problem, but we weren't like entirely sure. So I kind of had to keep on getting it like jump started, hoping, it needed to be jump started once and then it would be fine. Nope. Kept doing that like every couple of days. And it hit the point where I couldn't really even go out, or going out was risky, and I had to kind of make some decisions of where I was going to go, and I ended up going to, so basically one of my online friends from the UK was in New York City, and I wanted to go hang out with them because I live close enough to New York City. But I really also wanted to go see my mother-in-law, and I wanted to go see my father, and I really genuinely felt that I actually needed to go see my mother-in-law and my father. And so that's ultimately what I ended up doing. Also, too, I had a friend who was really, 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 really insistent that I come to a party that she was going to. And I kept on trying to be like, no, my car's having issues. But I just had this very strong, like, no, you can go, like, internally. And I was like, okay. And then that day came, and I was supposed to actually go cook with a coworker before I went. and my car died again, so I had to cancel with the coworker, and I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even go to this thing that my friend was really begging me, and I just heard again in my head, you're going. I'm like, okay. And that's what I did. I went and hung out, I think it was both me and my husband, went to go hang out with my friend. It was cool. It was great. It was fantastic. And I ended up making a decision because I was just really frustrated with my car. Clearly, there was a bunch of problems. I could not afford to fix all the problems. And I made the decision to sell my car. Within 3 days, so before I sold my car, when I made the decision to sell my car, I actually went home, talked to my mom about it. She listened, and she said, yes. Like, I'm like, does that seem stupid after me selling my car? Nope. It makes perfect sense for me. So, literally 3 days from when I made the decision to sell my car, I sold it. If you're wondering how I got around, public transit. My area had a pretty decent public transit system. So I just started taking public transit, which is funny because I've always loved public transit despite like almost never taking it. Like I did not take like my first, like besides from like school buses, which isn't, I mean, kind of public transit. I don't think I really took public transit until I wanted to go into New York City, and I was like, I'm not driving. Oh, wait, I think it was Japan. When I was getting ready to go to Japan in 2010. Yeah, that's when. Yeah. When I was going to Japan in 2010, I was practicing in Massachusetts because I needed to know how to take the subway, and I was like, I don't know how to take the subway. So I practiced there, and it was actually very helpful. But anyway, what else happened in 2018? I sold my car, and honestly, it was the best decision in my life. Like seriously, like one of the best decisions in my life. Even right now, I still don't have a car, and I'm really, really happy about that. Like I don't even want a car. If I was to drive again, I probably would rent. But that kind of goes off topic. So, what else happened in 2018? Actually, a lot of stuff happened in 2018, but I actually can't discuss most of it, or I don't want to discuss most of it, because it's either someone else's story that affected me, so it's not really my place to talk about it, or I just don't want to talk about it right now. But it was something related to myself. But yeah, I was battling with like a lot of really, really bad depression. Hurricane went up to his parents for work. And yeah, I was honestly like struggling a lot with depression. I really felt like I was being crushed. Like a whole bunch of like not really nice things. And yeah, I needed to better my life. So I really, really thought about it. I was like, hey mom, I think I want to go move in with dad. And I wanted to, and the reason why I wanted to move in with my dad was so that I could get a better job, and because the area that my dad lives in has better job opportunities, and also too better public transit systems. So just yeah, better public transit system. So I made that decision. I also felt too like it would be a more supportive environment for me to grow in a particular way. How I was growing at my mom's, I felt like I came to a standstill and it was time for a change. I actually had been suffering from depression, like really, 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 really bad depression in from April 2018 onward, and coming to this conclusion, calling my dad and having him go okay, and then transferring up to the same retail store that I worked at when I was living with my mom. I transferred to the one up by my dad. And yeah, best decision. Like, seriously, best decision. So I moved up here, where I am now. I have not had, like, a room that primarily felt like my own room since maybe, like, 2014. But it feels like my room. Should probably look like my room. I mean, like, let's be real here. Like, my artwork is in the background, and I got, like, this is actually my work area. Yeah, so part of the room's my work area, but yeah. I moved up. Great decision. It was very frustrating because I just wanted to get everything all set up, and it took a while, but it's all, like, set up now, and it's fantastic. It's been set up for a while now, as you can probably guess, because I moved up here back in September. Literally a month after I started at the retail store that I currently work at. The store manager was like, hey, okay, so let me back up before I say this. So I started working at this retail store, and they were putting me on evening hours because that's what I asked. And I could still feel myself dragging, and I'm like, there's still a problem here. Because that was all. I also had a problem at my last retail store, but I was also dealing with depression. This time I was like, no, there's something wrong with these hours. And this weird idea got in my head about working overnight. So my store is a 24-hour store, so it's not like it's not plausible, but I specifically was thinking full-time overnight, which seemed really silly to me because all the overnight positions were taken. So about a month later, the store manager approaches me and is like, hey, do you want to work overnight full-time? Yep. He asked me if I wanted to go full-time overnight, and I said yes, which I am still working full-time overnight. But there's actually some really cool developments, awesome developments that have happened since then. But yeah, I went full-time overnight as a regular old associate, because two of the spots opened up, and that allowed me to work full-time. So yeah, that was really, really exciting. That's pretty much how 2018 ended. I was still struggling with some depression. I was struggling with, I was pretty much struggling with depression, but things really started turning around at the end, as they normally do. I noticed that usually happens. Like, somehow, like, typically, like, during, like, the end of the year, there's usually something that good happens. But here's the question for you guys. So, if you looked at my previous rambles, or I don't really think everything's in a video, you might notice that what will happen is, a lot of times, I'll write about the end of the year, and something good is happening. And then, when I talk about, and then what will happen is you'll see the next year's summary post, and you'll see something bad happened a couple months later. I'm actually pleased to say, that has been broken this year so far in 2019. And I'm hoping to keep up with that. So yeah, there's actually there's a lot of really, really cool things, and I am considering doing a follow-up post, but like a follow-up video and follow-up post, but probably not right now. So yeah, that was pretty much 2018 for me. You can actually go read the blog, the Ramble entry again, which talks a bit more about stuff. But yeah, I think that's about it. I will see you guys in the next video where I talk about what actually helped me in 2018. because I really was going through like a lot of depression, and yeah, there was things that I did to ensure that I would more or less stabilize. So that is what I am going to be talking about next. So see you guys later. Bye.